Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I'm Yara and in this video I'm going to show you how I made these DIY aesthetic school supplies. So let's get into it. It's actually really cool because the only thing I used for this was old newspapers. So while I'm cutting a bunch of newspapers, I will rant to you about why I hate the word aesthetic. I mean, it literally means something pleasing to look at. So it makes no sense to say, oh, this backpack is so aesthetic, because it might be aesthetic to me, but it's not to you. And well, okay, let's get on with the school supplies. So after all the cutting, this was everything that I found. I actually ended up using only a small part of them, but it's always convenient to have extra pretty pictures if you like DIYs, like me. So let's see what we're working with. I had used this binder for a year and the edges were looking pretty rough. So before starting the DIYing, I decided to fix them with some duct tape, just sticking tape to the outside and then folding it in to the inside and making sure it was stuck really well. I even added some extra duct tape to the corners just to make sure they would be really well protected and would last for a year. So I just repeated that to all of the corners. By the way, if you're wondering why I am cutting the duct tape with scissors. Yes, I know duct tape is supposed to be torn, but this duct tape was just terrible at being torn. You get it? Terrible, tearing, torn. Okay, that was bad. By the way, what happened to this thing in my backpack? Look how ruined it is. Anyway, cutting the duct tape with scissors wasn't a great experience either, and I had to cut out multiple parts of the video where my scissors got stuck and I needed to throw tape away. That was pretty frustrating. So here I'm just sticking some duct tape to the middle of the binder as well, just until the entire thing was all taped up and ready to go. So what I did then was just choose some of the images to use, and I kind of laid them out where I wanted them to be, and then I just started cutting, trimming all the edges, making sure the images all fit where I wanted them to. I was really amazed how many cool images I was able to find just in the newspaper. Like there was an article about really old science fiction books and those images were really cool. And the merci and the sunflowers came from an ad, and on the right is this really cool tree made out of books. It's weird to think that normally we would have just thrown this all away, but now I was able to use it for something I think is really cool. So yeah, here I'm just sticking all of the images down. If you're wondering, on the right the translation of the words is child, this is the future, and the pink one would say summer, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I thought it was kind of cool. I decided to keep the inside simple and just black and white themed. Now here's where the magic is going to happen and where these random pieces of glued newspapers become a binder. The secret? Clear tape. And my head is blocking all the view. Good job. By the way, why am I taking so long to stick it down? Just stick it! Go for it! Yeah, good job. So I just stuck the tape to the outside and then I cut it and then flipped the binder and then folded it over to the inside to make sure the edge was protected. And then I repeated that to the entire rest of the binder. I love clear tape so much. It protects the design really well and it's so cheap to buy. Plus it gives everything a nice shine. It did take a lot of time to stick it all down, row by row. I got a little impatient at times and I wasn't able to completely avoid small air bubbles or like these tape streaks. But most of the outside got taped pretty neat and I'm really happy with the result. The colors, the images, also the inside, even though it is simple. I just think it all looks really cool and I'm really happy with how this turned out. And the best thing, it shines. Okay, now let's get on to the notebook. So I honestly kinda hated the design of this notebook. I don't know why, just a combination of the colors and the text, I think. For the rest, it is a pretty decent notebook, but I just tore the front page out immediately. Then I brought in this piece of this kind of thicker paper and started on creating a design. There was a hand holding a phone that I thought was pretty cool, and I just brought in some different pictures and started cutting them. By the way, I ended up not using most of the pictures I first planned. With DIYs, I usually try to plan, but I never stick to the plan. I'm always switching to better ideas. But well, I think that's pretty good for the creative process, right? I decided I wanted this other picture that said like ha ha ha, I don't know why, but I wanted that to be on the phone, so I just marked it with a pencil and then I started like cutting it out, seeing if it fits, and then cutting some more and just repeated that until it fitted. And then I just used some glue and stuck it on top of the phone. And I got the rest of my pictures and I just started arranging everything into ways I thought looked cool. I decided the flamingo was going behind the head, and then I ditched all the quotes and I brought in this pink thing, and then I just started sticking it all down with stick glue. Like, I can't stress this enough. It is really a pet peeve of mine. Do not use liquid glue when you're sticking paper on paper. Of course it's going to bubble up and stick to all the wrong pieces and just make life easier for yourself and use stick glue, okay? Wow, lots of ranting in this video. Anyway, my notebook had this layer of clear plastic on the front and I decided the easiest way would just be to stick my design to that. So I use Mod Podge for that, of course. And yes, Mod Podge is liquid glue, but because I'm sticking it to plastic, this is the easiest way. And I used this black thing to push out all the bubbles and it ended up looking pretty neat. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And another plus of using the cardstock is that the inside looks cool as well with the pattern, and I'm really excited to be using this notebook this year. Anyway, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I can say that at least in my eyes they are really aesthetic. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, maybe check out some other videos on my channel or consider subscribing. I'm trying to reach 200 subs by the end of August. Well, bye!